Hello guys, warm welcome to one and all, and today's topic is on database management systems, right. So, we are being learned about this database management systems from the last few days, right. So, when I am talking about specifically designing of a database which consists of a few different factors like I mean to say creating a year diagram, creating a database or creating a database are different kind of objects which basically create in a DBMS. So, what is the basic intention in the last session or before the last? It was been a long gap between the last session and today's session, and what is I just want to remind you is what we have learned in the previous session. So, when I am talking about your previous session, we are creating a database for some of the online application or for example, let us say online shopping website. So, when we are creating that kind of applications or we basically uses some kind of e-shoppy databases in our database management system. So, what is the basic intention is to discuss in the today's session is, for example, in my database I have a couple of tables, right. So, due to based on the normalization technique, I have divided the database data, I mean the data I have splits into multiple tables, right. So, that is basically my maybe a first normal form, second normal form or third normal form, depends on the requirement. Now, let us imagine that you have divided your data of a particular database into multiple tables. Yeah. So, what will happen now? So, that your data will be splits into multiple tables, so that your data is available right now in a more than one table. But what is actually my intention is to tell you right now is, for example, I have a table which has to contain the data, right. Let us see or for example, it is a pretty simple thing, alright. Take a registration page, alright. So, when I am talking about a registration page, I do have a different text sectors. I do have a secret like for example, I will have a contact information will goes into one table, as well as personal information will goes into another table, or some X information goes into a third table. But when I clicks on the profile page, of a website, my all data has to be displayed in one particular place. Nothing but I have to get the data from a couple of tables. I just want to show it as a single table. Yes, that is what basically, or that is what basic major intention why the base thing is. Now, for this, what is a database is offering, and if I learn that particular concept, so that I can achieve this concept is right. So, databases will offers you a concept called as SQL joins. I am repeating again, databases offers something called it as SQL joins, which gives you the information from a couple of tables, and that will becomes as only single table, alright. I mean to say I just want to combine the data of multiple tables, and I will just get the data and I will show it as single table. Now, let me tell you one thing. For example, what will happen if you are using a simple select statement. So, if I use a select statement 1, so the data I can get it from a table 1. If I am using a select statement, I will get the data. Now, what is the result set it happening here? It is result set is something which select statement 1 followed by select statement 2, you will get the two different result sets. Instead of that, I just want to get only one result set as an output for my application. And how to do that? Okay. Now, let me show you the screen once again. I will just show you what is the things I have to do as. Okay. First thing is SQL offers something called it as SQL joins, alright. So, what is the basic intention of this particular joins is? Okay. Now, let me tell you a very simple thing or very easily to understand on this. Okay. Let me tell you a pretty simple example, right. For example, I do have a couple of tables in my database now, right. So, this is my table 1, no, and this is my table 2, alright, and I do have one more table called table 3, alright. So, now let me tell you this is my table 3. There are 3 different tables in my database, nothing but for example, here the data of a particular user will be stored in table 1, and some of the information of the same user will be in table 2, right. Some of the information of the same user is presented in table 3 also. But when I requested for a certain application, when I requested for a certain application, I want to get the data of three tables, right, and I want to show it as a single table. Now, nothing but the output has to contain a different let us see different tables of my application or different columns of our application. Now, let me tell you, this is what my result set. In the result set, a few of columns from this table, right. Let us say this are the few columns from table 1, it is a column 1, right, and this would be your column 2, right. These are the two columns from our table 1, right, and here this is the columns from table 2. Let us say this is my column 1 from table 2 and this is a column from a table 3. Let us say this is another column from a table 3. See that here, if you observe carefully, there are the three different columns from the different tables. So, if I mean as a requirement is like this, if I do write a 3 select statement like this, okay, say select start from a table 1, right, say select start from a table 2, right, and let us say select start from a table 3. There are the 3 different tables I have. In these 3 tables which have a different columns. Now, what will happen is the moment when you execute this particular statements of my database, what will happen is these 3 statements of a particular database will give you 3 different result set. This is a result set 1 for table 1, this is a result set for table 2 and this is a result set for table 3. 3 different result set you will get, but as a requirement, as what I requirement is, my requirement is to have only single table consist of multiple columns from different tables. For that reason, your SQL or your SQL server offers you something called SQL joins. What is the use of this joins is used to combine the data from more than a single table, right. So that as a result a user can able to see only one result set, right. So that you can able to make a data and that data will be only in single particular result set. Now, this is what the major thing in your databases. It is very important you need to learn about these joins if you are been talking about any databases, maybe Oracle, SQL Server or anything. When you are learning any databases, you have to learn compulsory this joins concept is. And within this joins, we do have a different kind of joins here. Right, I do have a different kind of joins here. The join one is something called it as inner joins, and second one is something called it as outer joins, and the third one is cross join. You can call it as this one is Cartesian join also. Right, this one you can also call it as Cartesian join. These are the 3 different joins is available in SQL Server database, and this inner again categorized into 2 more parts. One is equi-join concept and second one is a non-equi-join concept. Right, we will discuss one by one, right, do not worry, but just by the time just list out what are the things we have to learn in the future. And the next one is left outer join, second one is right outer join, and third one will be full outer join. Whereas Cartesian joins can be happened with the 4 different kinds of keywords in SQL Server, that is something called union, that is second one is union all, third one is intersect and the fourth one is except. Okay. you have a 4 different keywords are presented for applying the Cartesian join. So, apart from that you do have a different joins here, that is something called inner join, the first one, and second one is outer join, and the third one is Cartesian join. What it mean to say that inner join first of all, right? Inner join mean to say that, or inner join is something which, right, we need to make a join between more than a single table, right? Anything, any join here, you can go for inner join, outer join or Cartesian join. In any of these 3 joins will be the same. If I am talking specially equi-join here, if I am talking specially equi-join, right. So, this equi-join, how does you can apply this equi-join here? First of all, we will learn first basic intention on this particular part, then we will apply practically. Yes. For example, if I want to apply equi-join on the multiple tables, let us say this is your table 1. Now, let me take it only 2 tables here, I can say 1 or more tables, I am just taking 2 tables here. That is, first one is table 1, second one is table 2. On this particular tables, on this particular 2 tables, what I want to apply is, I want to apply something called it as equi-join. I want to apply something called it as equi-join. If I want to apply equi-join on these 2 tables, what I supposed to want, right? So, the base condition, if you want to apply equi-join on these 2 tables, there is supposed to be a common column. There is supposed to be a common column between these 2 tables. There is supposed to be a common column between these 2 tables which can have a same name, so that you can apply the equi-join on these 2 tables now. I am repeating my sentence again, what is the base majorly I am talking about right now. The major thing is I want to apply the equi-join on the 2 tables here. This is your table 1 and this is your table 2, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, does not matter. Okay. So, let us say only 2 tables right now. So, I want to apply the equi-join on these 2 tables. The base condition is to apply the equi-join on these 2 tables is, there should be a common column, nothing but this is one column of a particular table 1 should be same as second table compulsory. If you have the something like that, if you have something like that, then you can apply the equi-join on these 2 tables, alright. So, this is how we can able to use equi-join concept. For to understand this equi-join, let me take you to SQL Server database, or let me flip that to SQL Server database, and we have created a database called eShopee. Yes, we have created a database called eShopee. Within this I do create a couple of tables now, which by making my tables has to be employee table, let us say EMP employee table, right. Within this I do have a couple of columns here, nothing but let us say ID of an employee is integer. I do have something called it as I am applying as a primary key for this, and I do have this one is identity. So, nothing but, so no need to pass any value to this, it is implicit value has to be run from this particular part, right. And the second one is employee name, it is a varchar type, it is size of 50 and it is supposed to be a not null column. Hope you understand everyone. And the next one is employee salary is about, again you have a data type called money also, you have a data type called integer also, anything is fine. And employee address is again a varchar type column which is of maximum value you can pass to it, and it is also not null column, I mean not required, because sometime address can be a null also. So, how many columns I am having here? 4 columns. Apart from this, I do have one more column I am adding to this, that is department column, right. Department column is about integer column. Yes, I will create this particular table first of all. Now, my table is created, alright. So, once my table is created, I do create one more table now, nothing but I do need to have a one column supposed to be same in these two, in these 2 tables, say department, alright. With this department table, I do have a first one is department number column, it is integer column, alright. Second one is a department name is varchar column, size is 50 or something 60 or whatever it is, and it would be something say not null column, right, and the department location, right. So, then it would be also varchar column, let us say 100, it is basically a not null constraint. Now, if you observe carefully, I am trying to create two tables. I am trying to create two tables in my database called eShoppy. With these two tables, there is common column right now. If you observe carefully, there is something called department number. Here also I have a department number column. So, now let me execute this particular thing. Alright. So, now you have a two tables are created with a same different I mean I have one column supposed to be same in these two tables, say department, first of all employee table, say select start from table department. Now, if you observe carefully, what is the result set it is happening, what is the result set you are getting. If you understand, if you are observe carefully here, there are two different result set which is returning by database. See that this is your first result set, this is your employee table result set, this is the second one, that is a department table result set. But what is my requirement is, I want to get all these things in a single table, nothing but, for example, let me tell you what is the columns I want. Say I want the columns like employee name, employee salary, department name and department location. Now, if you just look at here, this 4 different select list is not belongs to same table. See that this 2 will be belongs to the select list of employee table and this 2 select list belongs to the department table. But what I want to do is, I want to get these 4 different columns as a single output, nothing but instead of getting these 2 result sets here, I have to get only single result set. This single result set should need to contain these 4 values. Yes, I am very clear on this, guys. Please do need to remember this right now. Now, before this, I just want to tell you a very simple concept, a small concept that will be used in these joints right now. Right, I'll let you know what is the concept has to be learned before I'm talking about implementation. I just want to talk about something called it as alias names. Yes. What is the mean of alias? Alias in the sense you can call it as alias, something call it as alternate name, yes, or what I can call it as some duplicate name, or not alternate name, or it is something alternate name called, otherwise it is not a physical value or physical nothing but, for example, someone is asked me like this, for example, I want to let us see, I want to know the employee salary for annum, right. But what is basically I have a employee salary column which is for monthly, not for annum, nothing but it is not for year, yes or no. But someone is asked me like I want to get all the employee salaries which is for year part. So, in that time what I supposed to use and how to use it, right. For example, I can use the select statement like this, say select, right, employee name, this is so same in column, this is a physical column of your table, and I do need to have employee salary column, right. This employee salary column is a physical column, but what I want is, I want 12 times of this employee salary because I will get it as for annual salary, and this one I can show it as employee annum salary or yearly salary, right. This is something call it as alias name. This value, this particular value is not a physical column of your table. Please do remember this, it is not your physical column, it is something call it as a alternate name, or it is something call it as virtual column, right. You can give alias name for or alternate name for making, you can give for columns or you can also give for tables, right. So, see that employee name and it has to be multiplied for 12 times and that is as yearly salary from the table name, you can respective table name you can write here. So, this is how you can able to write alias name. Please do remember this, alias name is something which alternate name for a particular column or a table, and these columns are virtual columns, nothing but these columns will not be presented physically in your database. It would be something kind of what I can call it as it is something kind of columns which directly give you a reporting format, but if physically it will not be presented in your table. Someone is ask you, for example, I want to get annual salary of a particular employee, then you have to go for something like you have to go for alias name. For example, employee, I want to add a bonus for an employee, right? For example, let us say I want to add each and every employee has to be added with a bonus of 5,000 for this month, right, on the occasion of some festival, right. So, in that time what I need to do is I just want to add a plus 5,000 to the current salary. For example, right now employee salary is 25,000. So, for this month I want to get a salary of plus bonus, nothing but 25 plus 5, it becomes a 30,000, nothing but I want to give a report in a such a way that so and so employee has to have a salary of 5,000 plus 5,000 for this month, altogether 30,000 is the current month salary, but that will not be for the next month, it is for only for current month. So, whenever you have a requirement like this, whenever you have a application like this, now you can go for something like alias name. It is pretty much important, very important when it is go for some kind of column which is not presented in your when it is not presented in your database tables. It is just some kind of reporting format. Okay, so I just want to show you it is practically. Let me show you the screen once again so that you will understand it here. So I'll just go for one more database here. Say I'll take one more database which is in my same application. All right. So, yes. So, I have one more database in my table. So, I will have a data of a particular employee which is already there in my this table. So, I have a few columns here. Now, let me show you the screen, right. So, I do have a different columns here. Now, let you understand it carefully. So, I will just show you in some kind of things here, right. Yeah, understand it carefully, right. See that see that employee 100 is something name has been given Harsha, and his monthly salary is 18,000, and here so and so location and so department name. But what is I want is I want to give annual salary of an employee called Harsha, and employee called means what, in this particular table I do have a different employees here 100, 101, 102 or different users here, in which I want to get a salary of 18,000. It is per monthly, but I not want to get it as per monthly. I want to get it for annum. So, how to get it? So, it is pretty simple. Select employee name is first part, and I mean to say employee salary for employee table. What will happen now if you understand carefully, you are getting a two columns here. You are just getting a two columns here, but these two values and every column value you are getting for monthly wise. But someone is asked me for what? It is asking for year basis, right? Annum in the sense year, right? So, he is asking for year basis, but I am showing as a month basis. So, nothing but as if I say year basis, there is no such physical column in my table which is giving me output as per that particular thing. So, that what I will do is select, I will do something like employee name, and employee salary has to be multiplied for 12 times, nothing but this is for which will give me my annual salary as what I will say that yearly employee salaries, right, or yearly employee salary, and this is a column, is not a physical column and it is a virtual column. By the time when you are executing this query, you will able to get the output. After when you execute the table again, you can't able to see this yearly employee salary column. Now, let us understand it carefully. Now, you can see that table output, right. You can just say the output of this particular table, so that you will understand what is the basic intention of this. Yes, you just see that here employee Harsha name, and here is yearly annum salary, yearly salary of this employees, and here this is a yearly employee salary, and here this is a yearly employee salary, it is also yearly employee salary. It is just a matter of a simple query you can run this, so that you can able to see this. I mean, here most of the people does not have much time to see the does not have much time to multiplying and do this. Okay, it is a pretty simple process. Now, otherwise I will do one thing, I want to add each and every employee has to be added by let us say 5,000 for a festival bonus, let us say some festival bonus Along with the salary, every employee has to be given by salary employee bonus of 5,000. Nothing but current employee salary is for example, let us say 15,000. So, if I ask to add 5,000 to it, it has to be becomes as 20,000. So, how to do it? Let us pretty simple, write one more query for this. Select employee name, employee salary as plus 5,000. I need to add for this from as a bonus with normal salary, both bonus salary, right, from a table employees, right. So, what will happen now? Let us understand it carefully. When you understand this, actually employee salary, if you just see that every employee salary will be added by more 5,000 to it. Now, let us see, this is what the first result said and this is what your second result said. For example, here employee Harsha is about the salary previously 18,000, it is added by 5,000 to it, it becomes right now 23,000, right. Now, this is how you can able to give an alias name for a particular tables. Alright. So, someone is asked me, for example, employee, right, employee 100 is having a vehicle loan, right, he is having some personal loan otherwise, right. Every month he has to deduct the amount of 1599, only one person has to demand it, and the other employee is supposed not to have any deduction to it, right. Only one person has to be deducted by the salary of 1599 from his particular account list. Okay. So, how to do it? It is pretty simple, you can just apply this one, select employee name, employee salary minus of, right, how much I need to deduct 1599 as loan deduct amount or say loan amount, right, say from the table name is employee. Now, what will happen is if I execute this query, every employee will be deducted by the salary of 1599 from his monthly salary. But what I want is I want to deduct an employee where your employee ID or ID of a particular employee, right, is exactly 100, nothing but only this person. For example, if you understand it, here this is the basic implementation and this is the Harsha employee number 100 is a salary of 18,000. So, only for that user you need to deduct the amount here. Now, let me execute this query. Now, let us see this, only the person who has given, right. So, now let us understand it. So, this is your current output, see that 18,000, if you just remove 1599, the current salary he has to deposit by 16,401, right. Like this you can also give specific conditions in your databases here, right. So, this is how we can apply the alias name. Now, this will be very useful concept when you are developing something, call it as a, what you can call it as some kind of joins part, right. So, now that is the reason I have given you simple thing. Please do remember this very important thing, if you want to apply any alternate name or any other name for a particular table or column, then you can go for alias name or example. It is very easy and this will be not a physical columns of your table, and this is something call it as virtual column. You can just execute the query, you can see the output and then you cannot able to find the table again now. So, that is how we can able to use the alias name, right. So, and why I am telling you this alias name, in the sense it is pretty simple or pretty important thing, you have to use this concept when I am going for joins here. Now, let me show you the screen once again. Here I have a joins here, this joins will be about here something call it as equi-join. This equi-join will have to have a same column between the two tables. So, now if you understand carefully, I have created two tables here, the table name called employee and the other table called department. In these two tables, I do have a same column here, that is department number column and department number column. Now, from this I do insert a few records into table 1 now. Say insert into table as TBL employee, right, values. The first column is supposed to not to have any values you need to pass here, because it is an identity column, the value which is directly supplied by your database engine itself. And what is the rest of the columns you need to pass? Employee name, employee salary and address. Okay. So, for example, employee name is something say let us say Harsha, right. Next is employee salary is about integer, let us say 26,000, right, and the next one is employee address, right. Employee address I just given something, call it as something Hyderabad, and department number is about 10. Now, like this I do insert a few records into my database now. Yes. So, I will just change the name of a person, alright, say so I will just change the salary, alright, he is from Mumbai and he belongs to department number about 20, right, and let us say if the third person is our name called Anil, right, salary about 16,000, he belongs to Hyderabad and he is department number 30, and here one more person we do insert here, that is something called Akhil, right, say 36,000, and he belongs to department say New Delhi, and he is the department number 10, right. So, I do insert one more couple of records here, right. So, I will just take one more person here, that is something called one more person, they say 46,000. So, department number he belongs to department number 20, and here he belongs to department number 30, right. So, he is from name is, I will change the name here, say Ramu, right. So, this one will be again Mumbai, right. So, I want to insert almost 6 records into this particular table now, alright. So, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different insert statements will insert 6 records here. So, nothing but you have inserted 6 records here. Now, let me check the table here once again, so that you can able to see the result on this particular table now. See that you can see that particular table data here, which is about different 6 records has been inserted into this table now. Yes, different 6 records is inserted into this table. Now, what is major delay is, what is the thing what I want to do is, next thing is I want to insert let us say 3 records into table 2 now. Let us say let us see insert into the table name is TBL underscore department, right. First one is 10 department, name is a development, right, and his development is located in Hyderabad, let us say, alright. Next one is insert into table 2, right, same table, right, say values, department number 20 is administration, right. So, now I can say let us see probably he is located at Chennai, right, and third one is insert into department, right, values, and the department number is 30, and it is about what I can call it as the next one is testing, and it is located in again some let us say XYZ, say Delhi. Yes, right. So, now I will insert 3 records into my second table also. Now, if you understand carefully, if you execute these 2 statements, if I execute these 2 statements, now you can able to see 2 different result sets here, result set 1 and followed by result set 2, right. Hope you understand everyone up to this, right. And next thing is we need to join the tables of employee and departments, so that I have to get 4 different columns, say employee name, employee salary, department name and a department location, right. I just want to get these 4 different columns from one particular table here, alright. So, this is how I need to get, before you need to understand and what we have done today, right. Alright, so I hope the time up for the day, so I just want to stop the session for right now. So tomorrow we are going to learn about equijoint first of all, and after that we will go for non-equijoint. Please try to understand these examples and try to practice these queries as much as you can do. So once you practice this example, it becomes very simple for you to understand it. And along with that, when you are going for the next level, it is bit simple for you to understand the next level objects of your SQL server, right. So thank you so much for listening to me. Have a great day. By the way, I am Anil Kumar, the trainer of APSSDC.